episode of Connect Kids.
Woohoo!
We've got a really good episode this week, haven't we?
We're going to have some fun, obviously, games.
We're going to have a story.
And the story today is all about the lost Emily.
The lost Emily?
Yeah, isn't it?
No, it's about the lost son.
Oh!
Oh, wow.
I don't know where
Emily's not lost.
I haven't seen her for a little while.
Yeah, but she's not lost. She got married.
Oh!
Didn't she? That's where Emily is.
That's where she's
We've
been.
not lost Emily.
Oh,
don't worry. She'll be back.
Oh, good.
She's not eating pig food or anything like that that we know of.
No.
We're going to talk about the parable of the lost son today, though.
Yeah.
And I'm going to share some thoughts about forgiveness.
Oh, good.
But
good.
to start off, we're going to have one of our games.
Yes! Okay, I have a challenge for you both.
Okay.
Okay. So here you have 2 sweets.
Right, thank you.
And you have 2 sweets. See? That's fair.
Yeah.
Now, if you can wait for 2 minutes,
Okay.
then you can have the whole bag of sweets.
Whoa.
So, sometimes you might want sweets and I might say, actually, no, because, you've just eaten, you don't need anything else.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying, yes, you can have sweets, but if you wait, it'll get better and you'll get more.
Ooh,
Okay.
Okay, so I've got my timer.
So we can't eat them.
Can't eat them. If, when I come back in 2 minutes' time, they're both there, you get more sweets.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, start. Oh, what happened? Well done, Emily.
Yeah.
Good job. Where are your sweets?
He ate them.
Show me your hands. Show me your mouth.
Oh, they're well and truly gone.
Well, Emily, good job. You can have the whole bag of sweets. And Tabz, if you'd have just waited 2 minutes, you'd have had even more. But now I'm going to have yours.
Ooh.
Our story this week, I'm going to read for us. And it's from the rhyming Bible that we're always reading our stories from. So, let me begin. The story's called Every Last Son. A man had 2 sons, and he loved them. But one of them went astray, took half the man's cash, and made a dash to a country far, far away. The son went to spend all his money, he gambled and partied all day. He didn't take long, and when it was gone, his friends all just wandered away. For every last son is special, no matter how far he roams. So the father will wait just as long as it takes until his lost son comes home. And then when things couldn't look harder, a famine came on that land. With nothing to eat, no shoes on his feet, the son hoped for some helping hand. When no one would stoop to assist him, he found a disgusting job. Feeding the swine, he wished he could dine on the grub they sucked into their gobs. For every last son is special, no matter how far he roams. So the father will wait just as long as it takes until his son comes home. And then the son came to his senses. Just what am I doing? He said. I'll go to my dad, admit I've been bad, and work as his servant instead. At once he went back to his father, and when the old man saw his boy, he started to run towards his son, racing and jumping for joy. For every last son is special, no matter how far he roams. So the father will wait just as long as it takes until his son comes home. And there, in the arms of his father, the son, just as planned, bowed his head. I'm not worthy, Dad, to be called your lad. Let me work as your servant instead. But the father smiled and said, Nonsense! He called to his servants, Come here. Bring a robe now. Go kill a fat cow. My lost son has just reappeared. Not fair, said the older son, grumbling. But right, said his patient old dad. Your brother was dead. He's alive now instead. It's time for us all to be glad. For every last son is special, no matter how far he roams. For the father will wait just as long as it takes until his lost son comes home. So, maybe you've heard that story before. I know it's one we've definitely done videos about before, but there's just so much to learn from it though. Every time I explore this story, I feel something new. Maybe it's feeling like the son. He must have felt great to start off with. He had everything he needed and was having a great time until he realised it was all a huge mistake and he probably felt like he wanted to turn back the clock. Or maybe we can think how the father must have felt. He must have felt really sad and hurt that his son took his inheritance, his money, and deserted his family. And when his son came back, begging to turn back the clock and have a second chance, the father must have felt like going really mad. How rude! You take off with all the money, disowning your family, never to see us again, and then you have the cheek to come back here asking us to give you a second chance. But no, the father wasn't actually like that at all. He wasn't even angry whatsoever because he'd chosen to forgive the son. That meant that he had to let go of the bad feelings and instead remembered that he loved his son no matter what and chose not to let the past get between them. When we think about ourselves, sometimes in life we make really big mistakes, don't we? You just want to turn back time, pretend it never happened and start all over again. Well, it's actually a bit like that when someone forgives us. We still have to face the consequences and learn from our mistakes, but when someone forgives us, they give us another chance to go the right way. And if we mess up again and they forgive us again, then they've given us another chance to get it right. I like to think of it a bit like being in a car with a sat-nav. When you go the wrong way, it tries to give you another route, or even says, turn around when possible, so you can go back and try again to find the right path. Oh, and if you get really lost, like if you get lost maybe a second time or a third time, the sat-nav gives you another chance to go back again. And again. And again. Now, sat-navs aren't perfect. In fact, sometimes you might have seen your grown-ups getting really fed up with their sat-navs, taking them the wrong way. So they aren't a perfect example of what we're talking about, but you get the point. A perfect example of forgiveness would be Jesus. See, as Christians, we believe Jesus died so that God can forgive absolutely anyone in the whole world. We believe God has forgiven us for every single mistake we've made. So when a man asked Jesus in the Bible how many times we should forgive someone else who does bad things to us, Jesus says, not 7 times. Oh no. Not 70 times. No. 70 times 7 times. Which, if you're clever at maths, maybe you can work out how that adds up. It's 490 times. Now that's a lot, right? And you're like, you mean to tell me, Tabz, that I have to remember all the times I forgive someone in case it adds up to 490? There was that time I forgave them for that, and then there was that time that I forgave them for that other thing, and then there was that time that, well, that was a long time ago, but yeah, I did forgive them for that. And then that other time, and I know, I think you struggle to remember all those times. But I think that's probably what Jesus was getting at. He wasn't saying, count how many times you forgive someone, like the man who asked him the question apparently liked to do. He was saying, keep on forgiving, and forgiving, and forgiving so many times that you lose count, and you just keep on going. Keep forgiving. I know I need people like that in my life who keep on forgiving me. But there's one more thing that this story makes me think about that I often forget actually. It makes me ask a question. And the question is, who benefits from the forgiveness in the story? Is it A, the son? Is it B, the father? Or is it C, both? I think it is both, but sometimes we forget just how much the father would benefit. Because sometimes when we forgive someone, we might think we're doing them a favour, like giving them a gift. They come all, oh, I'm so sorry. Please, can you forgive me? Please, I'm really sorry. I need you to forgive me. Pretty please. And we're like, oh, okay, go on then. Have some of my forgiveness. I can spare it with you, I suppose, this time. But actually, sometimes we forget that forgiveness is really, really good for us too. It's really good for us, for our souls, to be forgiving others. Because forgiveness is actually a lot more about helping ourselves to not feel hurt, so that we can keep on loving and heal our hearts from how we've been upset. I think we need to be more like the father in the story. Like Jesus says, to keep on forgiving lots and lots of times. Not just because it's a nice thing to do, but because it is good for us too. It means we can choose to love people and let go of all those sad and angry feels we get when someone has hurt us. If someone has been bad, we do need to make sure we tell a trusted adult. But then if we want to make sure we can go on feeling good inside afterwards, we need to let go of those bad feelings and keep on forgiving. We're going to finish today's episode with a time to reflect on this little last bit of the video. You see, sometimes we feel hurt by the things other people say or do to us. Holding on to those hurts can make us feel sad or angry. And forgiveness is about letting go. So as you look at this vitamin tablet, I want you to think about your hurt feelings. Have a little think about them. It's okay, it's safe to think about them. because we're going to drop this tablet in the water. And as it drops, as it dissolves, imagine forgiving the person who has upset you and the hurt disappearing. Lord God, thank you for forgiving us. Thank you that we can know your forgiveness simply by saying sorry and asking to receive your forgiveness. And thank you also, God, for giving us the gift of forgiveness for other people as well. Help us to have the courage and the strength to be forgiving those around us, so that we can stay strong ourselves. Thank you that you are such a strong God, and that you give us that strength, because you're a God of love. Amen. Great, I hope that you've enjoyed our session today, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye!